is now time for the Hall of Fame for the game show, which is Hall of Fame or not. I had no one to guess the headliner. A lot of work with that. I had to go in some very sketchy forums to find information that may or may not be true. I didn't feel like doing this time, so I went to Wikipedia, a very reliable source, by the way.
Best.
So this is Hall of Fame or not. I will give you 10 musicians or bands or solo projects or whatever. You have to tell me if they're in the Hall of Fame or not. So you either yes or no. If you give me a maybe, I'm going to shut this down.
All right. Well, I have to think about Hall of Fame. Really is known for picking some really bad artists sometimes. So this should be interesting.
All right. So the first one up is Van Morrison. If you don't know who Van Morrison is, I will shut this down right now.
You'll probably not like the fact that I do know who Van Morrison is.
I like Van Morrison.
I don't actually know a lot of Van Morrison music.
All you need is was it Moondance? It was Moondance or Moonwalk? Moondance. It was Moondance.
I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna go with yes, because the way I'm thinking is that the way that they like to set up things, it would be funny to have Van Morrison in the Hall of Fame, but not Van Halen. So I'm gonna go with they're in the Hall of Fame.
Off to a good start. You are correct.
Nice.
All right. I'll pre-text this for people know who this is. 90s alternative artist Beck.
Ooh. Beck.
Do you know who Beck is?
I do.
Okay.
I do. Again, not a huge fan of them, but I am aware of them. I'm going to say I think my answer is going to be no, but I'm going to say because I feel like if they were, I think if they had to pick, it would have been down to like Beck and Alanis Morissette. And they would be like, oh no, Alanis Morissette's way better. We'll put her in. So I'm going to go with no with Beck.
I think Joseph is. I think you've been part of like the meetings for the Hall of Fame. You're probably the one guy who says, "No, Alanis Morissette, please." Oh yes, listen to this guy. You're right. You are 2 for 2.
Yeah.
All right. T-Rex.
Like from Jurassic Park? I didn't even know he made music. He did have a good voice at the very end.
He can get the growling down.
Okay, so I don't even know who T-Rex is.
They're an 80s rock band.
Okay. Well, 80s rock band is enough.
Or early 70s. I think some around that era is what I'm saying.
So 70s, 80s rock band, based off of my context clues. Rock band would tell me no, but because they're a name that most people don't know, I'm leaning towards yes. So knowing how they are in the Hall of Fame, I'm going to say yes based on the fact that they are not known and they got picked over bands that people think should have been in the Hall of Fame.
I will say I really like your logic and your way of doing things. You are correct. You were 3 for 3.
Yeah.
Just wait till I got some good ones in here. People knew these. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna get interesting.
All right, I'm ready, man. Let's do it. I'm on a high right now. I didn't even think I was gonna get any of these.
No expectations turns out to be the best.
Right.
All right. Number 4 is Pat Benatar.
That is Reptar's uncle from the Rugrats. So I'm going to go with Pat Benatar. What genre of music is that?
I would say disco and pop, I would say.
Disco pop.
Yeah.
That does fit as Reptar's uncle. Reptar.
What was their I'm trying to think of some of her biggest hits. See, you can tell I did not prep to actually give clues about this stuff because I don't know.
Okay, well, off of what you told me, you said is like disco music. Okay. And we've established that he's Reptar's uncle. Reptar is the dinosaur from Rugrats. Tommy Pickles is the younger version of Pitbull. Pitbull is a rap artist. So I'm going to go with they are in the Hall of Fame.
First knock on you. You're not in the Hall of Fame.
Wah, wah, wah.
But you're still 3 for 4, which is pretty good. So you're batting 75%, which is probably better than.
That's better than my grades in high school. Let's go.
And you're better than the Astros.
I don't watch baseball, so.
Okay. Well, take my word for it.
I'm like Leonard from Big Bang Theory. I just open my shirt and says, "Yay, sports."
I just say "Go team" a lot.
Woo!
All right. I hope. Okay, so you knew. For you, some people you didn't know. If you don't know who this band is, I'm gonna be gravely disappointed. Soundgarden.
I'm just kidding. I love Soundgarden. Yes. Oh man, Soundgarden in the Hall of Fame.
It's a good one, isn't it?
It is. Soundgarden in the Hall of Fame.
I'll give you context. So, the only qualification to get in the Hall of Fame is you have to have an album that is 25 years ago or later. That has to be your first album. That's all the context I have.
Well, based on because they're a really good band.
They are.
And the Hall of Fame doesn't like that.
They don't.
But they do have dead members.
Unfortunately.
I'm going to go into my Jesus Christ pose, and I'm going to say this purely because I'm hoping they are, but I'm going to say yes.
Run into a little bit of bad times. They're not in the Hall of Fame, which is, by the way, a huge travesty. If anyone, honestly, someone's got to start a petition to get Soundgarden in the Hall of Fame. They should truly be in the Hall of Fame. I am saying that. No BS. That is just me shooting. They should be in the Hall of Fame.
See, and I was going to go with no because it seems like those were one of those. It's that type of band. Why the Hall of Fame gets so much shit, because it's like kind of like a no-brainer. They should be. But I was looking at it like, well, because they are an iconic band, and because there's members that aren't here anymore, that would have maybe pushed them. But the fact that they're not in it, yeah, that's a travesty, man.
It truly is. It really is.
Damn.
All right. At number 6, we have The Cure.
Ha! You're about to make this boy cry. And boys don't cry.
So you're familiar with The Cure, I assume?
Yes, but I'm, unpopular opinion, not a huge fan.
Hey, I'm not either.
I know of The Cure. I listened to The Cure, sadly, because I was trying to get laid by some girls that liked The Cure. So I pretended like I liked The Cure just to get my dick wet.
Did it work? Hold on, before you say yes or no, did it work?
Well, let's just say that they got me in the Hall of Fame.
I'm all for faking it if stuff like that is involved. I will 100% condone that. I will say yes. I don't like The Cure.
Well, it wasn't even so much that I was like, I love The Cure. It wasn't that. It was just when they put on The Cure, I knew not to make fun of it. You know what I mean? Like I just was like, oh, okay. So that was before there was Netflix and chill. There was going to a girl's house and listening to music that they liked in like a dark or a low lit room. That was a thing. And sometimes drugs were involved, sometimes not, but you had to suffer through some shit. And The Cure, sorry guys, but it was one of those bands that, and typically bands that I don't like will grow on me. Like there's a band that my wife likes, Skillet, and wasn't really into Skillet when I first heard them. Started to grow on me because yeah, they're just like they're the Wish of Linkin Park. Like when your mom says we have Linkin Park at home, you get Skillet. But I digress.
Anyway.
The Cure, Hall of Fame or not? Yeah.
Hey, that's my line.
I'm thinking. I'm gonna say this because I feel based on the way you reacted with Soundgarden, and then you bring the Cure up right after. Based on your response of Soundgarden not being in the Hall of Fame, something tells me that these fuckers are. So I'm gonna go with the Cure is in the Hall of Fame.
I gotta get better, be better at hosting this because you are correct. So you,
But that emotion was pure raw emotion that I completely agree with. So yeah, I am there with you. That I mean, I don't want to take away from the Cure. They deserve it. They definitely were
they have a lengthy
staples.
career.
Yeah, and they definitely brought something to the table. But just because I don't like them doesn't mean that they weren't influential on other bands and other artists. Same way with Beatles. I'm not a huge fan of Beatles, but I know that they had their moment in the music industry and they stamped it, and so they earned that. So I may not like them, same way as I may not really care for the Cure, but I respect the Cure. I respect what they the road that they paved for musicians. So
I definitely agree, and now you've kind of figured out my pattern with stuff, with how I laid this out. All right. Next up at number 7 is Devo.
Dio? Because Dio's awesome.
I know Dio's awesome.
Devo.
It's a song, Whip It.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, to give more context.
Yeah, because I was thinking Debo from Friday. I was like, I didn't know he could sing. Must be because his eyes crooked. Rest in peace, dude. I know he's dead now. But well, see, no. Oh God. Okay. So this is what I'm thinking. This band was a one-hit wonder type band because that's really you name the song that everybody knows. And they were around the time when like Huey and Lewis and the News were around, probably.
I think 80s, yeah.
Okay. Little
It's
poppy.
new wave.
Yeah, it's that new wave pop type sound. Okay. Yep. But I don't know if you would get. Is the Hall of Fame that much of dickheads that they would put a band, a one-hit wonder band in? Like, a part of me wants to say yes, but then the other part of me is like, no, I don't think they're that much of a dickhead.
They went on tour with Arcade Fire in 2014. They opened.
Yeah, I'm not an ironic hipster, so I don't even give two shits about that band either. I have a VCR because I like watching shitty music or shitty movies. Ironically, go fuck yourself. I'm gonna say,
yes.
I'm gonna say no because I feel like because they were one hit wonders, it's still not enough to solidify them in this shitty Hall of Fame that we have.
Hey, it's in Cleveland. Give it some respect.
I do every time I go to take a shit.
So, what are you going with? I'm sorry.
The only time the Browns will get to the Super Bowl. See, I know sports. I don't even know Browns are in Cleveland.
They are.
Okay.
I think, or did they move?
That's what I said. I know they used to be when I was younger. I don't know if they're still in Cleveland or not.
I don't know. Anyway, your answer.
But LeBron couldn't get him championships, so who cares? I used to shit on that team every time the Spurs played them. So, but yeah, I'm gonna go with no.
You're good.
All right. So I only missed what, 2?
Yeah, 2 so far.
All right.
All right. This is where stuff gets very wacky.
Okay.
I hope you're ready. I'm not.
Like it hasn't been wacky already?
Nope.
We're gonna turn up the notch here. All right, let's
go.
go.
We are. So at number 8 is the band Yes.
Ooh. Yes. Another band, very influential. A band that I feel would probably fall into a lot of people's underrated category because it's a band that really they put out the hits, but I don't think people I think people would, and I'm talking about me as well. I think there's a lot of Yes songs that people don't realize it's Yes. They know the songs, But if you're like, hey, who is this? Well, fuck, I don't know, but I know the song. Yes, yeah, I feel like they would be a type of band that would probably get lucky enough to be in the Hall of Fame because they are underrated, because they weren't at the forefront. But I feel like they did a lot of tours with a lot of really big bands, maybe even some overrated bands. Interesting. I like this one. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say yes to yes.
You're giving yes to yes?
Yes.
You're right.
Yeah.
The reason I wanted to put yes is because I said the word yes, people would assume to say yes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's correct.
Or they're trying to be that.
Or I'm trying to trip you up.
Yeah, or they're trying to be that guy like, haha, I say no to yes. Haha, funny. But I had to break it down, damn it.
All right. Next one, Dolly Parton.
Oh, I love her. So she's a country artist, which ironically, it's called the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Yet it's more pop and country artists that tend to get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Good observation.
She is a big female artist in country. She has very big titties.
Very good point. Very good point.
She's had a fuck ton of hits. I'm gonna have to go a yes with Dolly Parton because she's a legend. She's up there. She's iconic, and like I said, because she's country, I feel like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame said we need Dolly Parton to be part of our Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So we'll give it to a country artist. So I'm gonna go with yes.
Unfortunately, they've never said that they wanted her in the Hall of Fame because it's a no.
Wow, interesting.
I was surprised. I thought she was. I thought she was.
Wait, so my next question is do you know if Willie Nelson is?
I didn't get that far in my research.
Oh, okay, because I'll say if he's in it, if he's not in it, then it would make sense why she's not in it.
The Highwaymen are, and he is part of the Highwaymen.
Interesting.
So no, Dolly Parton again, just like Soundgarden. I'm going to say this: it's a travesty. She is not in the Hall of Fame, and she definitely should be.
Yeah. Wow, I learned something today.
Well, I think you're gonna like this one. So rounding out number 10. So currently you've missed 3.
Okay, not bad, not bad.
So let's see if you can cap it off with the correct answer. It is Jay-Z.
Oh, God. Not my favorite rapper. Dare I say overrated? I mean, he has some songs. But I'm not part of that Jay-Z Beyonce love fest. Don't really care for him. Even though Beyonce is a Texan, still not a fan. I mean, I was Destiny Child's fan. I was a Destiny Child.
But that's solo.
Yeah, but the whole when she changed her name to whatever the fuck it was, Sasha Fierce or whatever, she can.
We don't talk about that.
Yeah, she can go lick a titty. I don't care about that.
I'm not.
Jay-Z. Now, I would say, knowing Jay-Z's career, he is, if you're looking at a financial standpoint and record standpoint, Jay-Z is definitely top dog. And for rappers, I could see him in the running. And if I try to take away my fanboyness of it, because if I'm thinking like mainstream rappers, like Tupac should be on that list for sure. So if Jay-Z's in the Hall of Fame but Tupac isn't, that's kind of fucked up. Even somebody like Eazy-E, even though Eazy-E didn't really have that initial flow, he kind of got that from Dr. Dre. Well, NWA in general, Ice Cube, I think Ice Cube is more talented than Jay-Z. But is he in the Hall of Fame? Let's see. I'd like to use a lifeline.
We don't have any here.
Shit, wrong show.
We don't have any money to afford that. So you're on your own.
Damn. How many have I missed so far? 3?
Yes, you've missed 3.
Oh man, I'm getting close to only getting half right. Jay-Z in the Hall of Fame. I'm gonna have to go with shit. Okay, so purely based on the fact that I think he is overrated and the impact that he has had as a not only a rapper but as a businessman, with the success of everything outside of his rap career, I think that may play into it. As much as that seems odd, you can never really judge the Hall of Fame on how they do this stuff. So I'm gonna preface it that as well and just say, based on his entire career outside of his rap career, I think that may have helped him. So I'm gonna go with Jay-Z. Yes, is in the Hall of Fame.
Was that a question or a statement?
Yes, final answer.
You capped it off on a high note. He is in the Hall of Fame.
That's bullshit. But Soundgarden's not?
And Dolly Parton either.
That's Hall of Fame. What the fuck? You guys deserve all the hate you get. Shit. Okay, I learned more about the Hall of Fame today than I even cared to pay attention to my entire life. Now I understand why they get so much hate. Jesus Christ.
I know. And it took 8 years for Alice Cooper to go in the Hall of Fame. Not right. And honestly, the reason I did this was just to show that Dolly Parton's not in the Hall of Fame. And Jay-Z is. Also, to answer some of your questions, NWA is in the Hall of Fame.
They are? Okay.
Yeah.
So that, to me, I feel like that's more well-deserved because they paved the way for the gangster hip-hop type of stuff. So, okay, well, that, I guess, eases it a little bit, but still.
There's honestly some people I really like, true, like, influential people that, like, not many people know. Like, Bad Brain's not in the Hall of Fame. Link Ray's not in the Hall of Fame. Stuff like that where those people were so influential on, obviously punk music. It's still considered in the rock category, in my opinion. So, like, for them not to be in the Hall of Fame, I think, again, is a travesty.
But I kind of feel, if I may, that the great punk bands would probably reject that anyway. If they're being genuinely a punk, I think the punk thing is not to fall into the system.
You're right.
Damn the man, bruh.
Well, the Sex Pistols are in just because they got nominated. They didn't show up to the ceremony, but they're in. But with Link Ray, I think people should know about him just of how influential he was. And obviously he's not around anymore, so no one can tell you unless they know who he is. So that's the way I'm looking at it, for at least with him.
Yeah. Man, so, that was a fun game. Thanks for having me on that, man. That was interesting.
You got 7 out of 10, which means you don't get anything. I'm now going to throw this paper and hopefully it doesn't hit me in the face.
Damn it! I was trying to use my forces to be like,